no clue is not in her.
Hello everybody, once again, my name is Anjali, and to kick off our video series today, I will be interviewing my dad. So, to get us started, why don't you introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about
Hi
yourself.
Anjali, thanks for having me here. And my name is Manish Sharma, and I was born in New Delhi, India. I grew up there, I had my education there, and I'm 49 years old and currently working in IT.
Cool, and a little bit about his family, our family. They all of his side of the family lives in India,
That's
so
right.
we sadly don't get to see them a lot. But he has a brother, a sister, parents, uncles, aunts, all of that good stuff.
Big family.
Yeah, big family. I sadly
Extended family.
Yeah, everyone. I sadly have only been there twice, and the last time I went was when I was 5 years old.
2006.
So 2006. Wow.
That's what he said.
That is
yeah.
so. Is that when I was 5? I don't know.
No.
But anyway, yeah, I don't see them a lot, but we WhatsApp them and we Skype them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a little
Technology helps, right?
bit. Definitely. That's a little bit about him and about our family. Okay, so for our first round of questions, I guess, I'm going to ask you some things about what it was like growing up in India.
Okay.
So my first question is, what were some of the highlights of your childhood that you can remember?
Growing up with cows at home, my mom milking the cows.
Like
and,
in your backyard or
in
something?
in our front yard.
In your front yard, okay.
In our house. And
In your house?
In our house, yeah.
Like they were within the four walls of your house.
Within the four walls of our
That's
house.
crazy. Wow. Okay.
And then my aunt getting married, my mom's younger sister getting married. Great memories of that. And all three of us going to the village during our summer vacation with our parents to see our grandma and uncle and cousins. Riding the bicycle with my dad to school when I was in middle school.
Was that your like main form of transportation to school?
That was our main form.
Or
of
only form?
transportation. No, that was the only form actually. You're right.
So you didn't
Because
have a
we
car?
We didn't have any other means to do that.
Wow.
Other than taking a city bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is, I bet you got a lot of exercise. So I mean,
Oh
you probably stay fit.
yeah, we were always moving.
True.
Unlike
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and then my final question is, what was your education like, and how do you think it would compare to my education here in America?
as far as the schooling goes, like the structure of the schools go, it's pretty much the same. You have elementary school, middle school, and high school. So we had this similar structure, and I went to the similar structure. I went to public schooling as well. I didn't go to private schools; they were too expensive. But we did not have GPAs. We have GPAs when it comes to
It's kind of lucky. Saturday school, remember you talking about that?
Well, yes. On Saturdays, we used to go to school for half a day, and not a whole lot.
I would not like that. And then one more thing, you're bilingual, so you speak English, obviously, and you speak Hindi. So going to school, did you ever speak in English, or was it all Hindi until you moved here?
Yeah, we have all our textbooks in English. At least because my parents sent us to English medium school.
English medium.
Where your history books are all taught in English. They're all in English.
Probably helped you out in the
But
long
for the
run.
most part, the conversations were in our Hindi language. But as far as the textbooks went, they were all in English.
Okay, so our next round of questions is going to be a little bit about your immigration story, moving here, and marrying Mom, Michelle. So my first question is, when, how, and why did you immigrate to America?
So I came to US in 1998. A roommate of mine in college, he had just moved here as well on a contract and a H-1B visa, and he asked me if I would like to pursue that. And so interestingly,
yeah.
I definitely said yes, because that was one opportunity I had, and I was like, okay, that'll be a great learning experience. And I just wanted to be here for 6 years at the most, and that's what I told my parents.
And
then
now you have a family. Really?
Yeah, rest is history. 21 years later, I have 17, 18-year-old.
A 17.
18 years
18
old.
years. And what age were you when you moved
I
here?
was 27 years old.
27. Wow. Okay. So going off of that, what was your first memory of coming here? Like, what was the first thing you saw? What was the first thing you ate? Like, what was your first impression, I guess?
So that since that was the first time ever me coming out of India and ever being at the airport, so
It's a huge step.
So everything was a wow for me. Getting in the plane, coming off the plane,
The airport,
disembarking at the JFK airport. Everything was nice and pristine from my perspective, because where I grew up, things were not that as much clean.
Right. And you landed in New York.
New York, yeah.
Which is ironically probably one of the dirtier places. If you grow up here, you think, oh wow, like, you know, New York City, it's not that clean. But for you, it was. And what was the first food you ate when you got here?
I had pizza, and
Good old
unfortunately, the sad part in the whole story is that I had that under the Twin Towers. So, yeah, it is.
How was the pizza though?
Pizza was
Did you
wonderful.
like it?
It was delicious.
You fell in love?
I never had pizza in my life before that. So
27 years old.
I honestly, I did not know how to eat it though. I mean, but
how'd you figure it out? Just like looked around?
I just saw the people, how they were.
And you just like copied them?
I copied them.
Aw. Okay, so next question. Was it difficult to acclimate to life in America? If yes, what was the biggest cultural shock or challenges that you ran into?
I think I don't remember having great difficulty in adjusting over here, because I think since America is a melting pot of different cultures, different people who have different looks and stuff, so you see a lot of Indians here as well. There were Indian shops around where I was living.
And you lived with Indian roommates, right?
I had Indian roommates, so it wasn't hard. And then within
like a little piece of home came with you.
Within 1 year of moving here, I met Michelle in the chat room, and you know, it was
easy from then on.
She just made it very easy from that point on.
Talking about Mom, Michelle, a little bit about how they met. They met in a very old-timey chat room, and they didn't see each other's faces Yahoo chat room. But you guys didn't see each other's faces until months after talking, right?
Well, that was our personal decision that we chatted for 4 months before we actually decided that okay, we will like to see each other, what we look like, and
that's awesome, because that doesn't happen a lot nowadays. But yeah, so they talked for multiple months. They finally met. They started dating, and the rest is history. Now we have this family. So, going off of that, did you ever imagine yourself marrying anyone other than an Indian woman? And was it difficult for you to break tradition and not have an arranged marriage? Because I know arranged marriages, that's how your siblings got married off, and how it is in India, at least when you were growing up. And how did your parents react to all of this?
I never actually ever imagined that I will be marrying anybody who's not Indian or not arranged marriage. And meeting Michelle was a life changer. And my parents were not very happy about it. Well, they were not happy, not because I was dating somebody, or I was
not because of who she was,
or who she was.
Right.
It was more like, you're living so far away, and as we grow old, what's gonna happen, and all those things which are very natural to any parent. And
so you'd say she was pretty mad.
Yeah, she didn't talk to me for 1 month, but now they are.
Wow. And now here we are. Yeah. The progress. Yeah. She loves us all, you know? Yeah. And do you think it was hard for you to break tradition, or were you just, you know, in love with Mom, so it didn't matter to you type of thing?
It's not, I think, it's not as much as it was hard. It was definitely hard. The transition was not just for myself, mainly it was for my parents, and they were it was a blessing to have parents I have, because they made it so much easier for me.
Awesome. Okay, so for our last segment, we're going to talk about raising mixed children in America. Okay. So my first question is, what do you see as the biggest difference between the way Rowan and I are growing up and the way you grew up, other than like generational things?
The first thoughts that come to my mind are how many clothes you have, and how many clothes, how much food you have available to you, and
Yeah.
so that's very very huge.
He's always complaining like, why do you need to buy more clothes? Your closet is so huge, and it is.
Yeah.
But it's just
I just don't.
you
I
know.
still can't wrap my head around it.
Second question, what would you say is the most challenging part of raising children in a country you didn't grow up in, or what is the most challenging part of raising mixed children?
So I remember a time when I was at Costco and Rowan started crying, and he looks like his mom as far as his skin color goes, and
Much paler, yes.
yes, and when he will not stop crying, so I was getting concerned that I hope nobody questions me whose child it is, because or even at Costco when I go sometimes and they let you try food and they will say, is
that your
is that
child?
your child? So those kind of statements were a little threw me off, because aside from that, I never thought, my kid is any.
Different.
It's not my kid.
Right.
I never saw my kid's skin color. All I saw was my kid. So yeah.
Last question. I guess it's for both of us. I can start with my answer.
Okay.
But what would you say? Would you say you have gained any lessons or qualities from raising your children in a country you didn't grow up in, or having those different situations? So for me, I would definitely say I have. I think I've gained a sort of surreal perspective, because you watch things on the media or you read things in books, but like having a dad who can tell you stories of his own childhood that are so vastly different than my own, it's just mind-blowing to me. Yeah. What about you?
There's not a whole lot I can compare to when it comes down to you guys, because you were raised here, and I don't have anything to compare to be honest. And I think you're great kids. I mean, you listen for the most part, and you have your own time, just like any other child does in any other country, or the way we grew up. I mean, it was not like we were always listening to my parents either. We were giving them a hard time too. So it's just a story of being a parent. There's nothing whole lot different about that piece.
Parent is a parent.
Parent is a parent, and no matter where it is.
That's very true. All right, everybody, that is it for this interview. Dad, thank you so much for taking your time to do this with me.
No problem.
I appreciate you.
I love doing that.
Aw, thank you. Well, and thank you all for listening to his story and a little bit about us. Please tune in next time to hear from our next speaker, and Taylor will also be there, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.